Hello and welcome back to Higher Sense with Haz, and today's review is going to be Opera Mate by Mind Games. Opera Mate by Mind Games is a recent release. It's a new offering from the house and it was released at the back end of 2024. It's an online exclusive and the house only sell in America. So it's took us a wee while to get this for you, but I've got it. It's described by the house as a woody edible amber, and I wouldn't disagree. So let's roll through these notes and see what's so gourmand. In the top we have chestnut, grapefruit zest and labdanum. And then in the mid we have creme brulee, davana and vetiver. And then down in the base we have suede, caramel and santal, also known as sandalwood. So let's get this beauty open. So as I said, online exclusive only, cannot be purchased in the shops, cannot be purchased outside of America, so this is difficult to get hold of, but I have managed to get a retail release. As you can see, lovely box there, feels absolutely gorgeous. It's a matte effect, feels almost rubberized, and the fragrance is housed just in here. Nice little display unit, and as you can see, there is the bottle, gorgeous bottle. It's got a lovely wooden rim on there. And onto the cap. Can you hear that? The cap is magnetic. Fantastic. We always love a magnetic cap here at Higher Sense, and Mind Games haven't disappointed. Now let's see if they've disappointed on the atomizer front. I'm excited to try this one. That is a good atomizer. This fragrance is a strong fragrance. Straight off the top you get hit with the chestnut, and it's a very warm and slightly sweet chestnut. Maybe that's one of the gourmand facets in here. And then what you do get later on in the fragrance, you get some lovely caramel coming through. You get the creme brulee, which is sitting in the mid. The creme brulee, it's very creamy, it's very sweet, and it's also got a nice little toasted element that's in here. And then as you move through the base, you get the suede, which is a very soft leather. You get that with the caramel, and all in all, you're getting a very sweet, gourmand, edible, gorgeous fragrance. And what I will say about this is the blending is top notch. Now there is apparently grapefruit and some other florals in here. I think the florals more represent kind of a slightly dark touch, a kind of a leathery nuance in here, as opposed to anything pungently floral. Maybe the grapefruit zest is just to sweeten it up, although it is sweet as it is and it doesn't need any more sweetening. In the base you've got nice sandalwood there, creamy, soft and woody, and you do get that as the fragrance goes along. Now I would say that these top notes last a good 2 hours as the mid's creeping through at the 2 hour mark. The chestnut does stay apparent throughout most of the fragrance, which is a lovely touch. It's very seasonal, but also that's the main part of this fragrance. For me anyway, that's what I detect. And then the mid, after another couple of hours, goes into the base, and the base just brings it all together. You've got some lovely soft suede, you've got some sweet sticky caramel, and then you've also got the sandalwood, which just brings it all together. The layering is very good on this. Most of the notes are apparent, but like I said before, you're going to get a soft, sweet, classy scent. Now that's what I like about this. It's very well blended and it comes across as classy. It's strong, but it's not in your face and sharp and spiky. It's smooth, it's soft, and it's sensual. I was interested to see what this was based on, and as you can see, very gorgeous ball, but also the chest piece which is on the top. And this is based on apparently one of the most famous chess games ever played, which I believe was in 1858 in the Paris Opera House, and it was between Paul Morphy and two noblemen. The opera played on the stage whilst the game was played in the box on the floor. So they were playing the music and they were having a game of chess. Sounds very exciting and exquisite to me, somewhere where I would have loved to have been and to have watched this game. But that is what this bottle and fragrance is based on. Now, Opera Mate. What do I mean by that? This game was won by Mr. Morphy, and he won it by obviously putting the other two players in a checkmate. Now, the formation of the pieces when he made that checkmate got the name Opera Mate. So the mating process, well, not that mating process, but the process by which he gained the checkmate, the final manoeuvre, the strategic pieces were called the Opera Mate. And that's where the name of this fragrance comes from. It was the final move that won him the game. And predominantly, it was the bishop and the rooks what put the queen in check. And this on the top, as you can see, resembles the rook, which was one of the key pieces in the final manoeuvre. So yes, a very interesting story behind this fragrance, and I think a lot of time and effort has gone into it, and you can certainly tell. I mean, there's not any expense spared. The wood around the rim fits perfectly. The bottle sits lovely in the hand. The lid, very heavy, metallic. Not only is it magnetic, but it spins into place, so that's always facing forward. The plaque on the front, very nice and clear. All of the details on the bottom there. The bottle, where it goes from non-transparent through to transparent, is a very nice touch. All in all, I think the bottle is gorgeous. The story behind the fragrance is great, and the fragrance itself is very, very nice. This fragrance is an extrait de parfum. It comes in 100 millilitres. I believe that's the only size you can buy this fragrance. As I said before, online exclusive, America exclusive. So if you want to get it, you're going to have to jump through a few hoops. I believe the price for this fragrance is $395, which at last check translated into around £323 sterling. So that is £3.23 per milliliter. So it's not exactly cheap, but it's not on the ultra high side. And for this quality of fragrance, bottle and presentation, I think that's a fair price. I've explained what the fragrance smells like. What does it perform like? Because as we all know at Hyacinths, performance is the main issue. Certainly it is for me anyway. So the projection on this, like I say, when you initially spray it, it's quite strong. It's quite thick. It's very smooth. And it's not spiky and in your face, which is great. I would say the projection on this is around 2.5 feet. It's not intimate, but neither is it going to fill a room. It's a good projector. It's solid. Longevity, I would say that on skin, I get anywhere between 6 to 8 hours out of this, which is fine. Now what I will say is I have had a Mind Games product in the past and I was a bit underwhelmed by the performance, but this, however, I'm pleased to say doesn't have any performance issues. You get at least 6 hours on skin, anywhere up to 8 hours. It's a deep dark fragrance and it's an extrait de parfum, so you would hope it lasts, and Mind Games have done a good job with the formulation and last it will. The sillage on this, again, it's very good. It'll create a lovely scent bubble around you. As you move, it will move with you. It's quite thick, it's quite dense, it's smooth, it's gorgeous. So the sillage is good. The projection is good and the longevity is good. All in all, I can't complain over this fragrance's performance. So, where to wear Opera Mate by Mind Games. Personally, I would wear it on a date night. I think that's probably the first port of call. It's a gorgeous fragrance, smooth, sensual, and certainly a point of interest. Smells gorgeous in the air. I can imagine it would smell lovely on someone's partner or person that they're interested in. It's a fragrance that draws them close. It's sweet, it's edible, it's gourmand. It'll certainly have them intrigued. You could also wear this to evening socials, I would say. Evening relaxed socials would be fine for this, depending on the season. Also business meetings, it's certainly classy enough for that. The seasons to wear this fragrance, I think it's quite obvious. It's a winter-based fragrance. I would say it reminds me of the winter season, certainly of Christmas with the chestnut and the caramel. So yes, winter, autumn. I wouldn't be wearing this in the summer. It'll be too overpowering. This fragrance, it's soft, it's sweet, it's gourmand, and it's very edible. But what the perfumer has done in here is quite clever. The sweet elements, the caramel, the creme brulee and the chestnut, they've all got what I mentioned at the very start, a toasted element to them. Now, a lot of the notes in here have that toasted element, which is very well done. It's certainly not an afterthought, but I think the way that these notes have been processed, they've given that little smoky, warm, toasted feel, and that really gives this fragrance a lot of character and makes it different from a lot of winter fragrances that I've tried. And now into the dry down. This fragrance is a very good release from Mind Games, and of the few that I've tried from the house, I would say that this is the pick of the bunch so far. They're improving as time goes on. Being an American based house is unusual, but certainly the perfumer's done a great job with this fragrance. Is it a people pleaser? Yes. It doesn't have anything which is controversial in here. However, it does have enough individuality in its composition and enough skill and unique notes, certainly the way they've been blended and presented, to give this some character and individuality. Would I recommend this fragrance at the price point? Yes, I think I would. Certainly the packaging, the fragrance and the overall performance and composition and what this entails, I think it's certainly worth the price point, in my opinion. Mind Games, Opera Mate, I would certainly check this one out.